Hey guys, we're back for part 2 of Vampire Survivors, and today we're going to carry on where I very rudely cut you off before in the last video, and with our second playthrough. So, quick recap for those that somehow have ended up here without watching the first video. If you've not, I suggest you go back and you do that right now. So we did the first room with Antonio. We've unlocked our second character. Power up wise, we've only got a little bit of gold in there, which gives us 20% extra gold find up to a maximum of 50%, which levels every level, and that's it. And then we went to our characters and we've bought Imelda. Now Imelda does two things for a new character. So one, she gives you sort of an aimbot, if you like, weapon. It's not the greatest weapon. You'll find later on that this weapon will never find it into your builds, or very rarely, unless you're doing something specific. It's quite a weak weapon, but it's good for a beginner, and you'll also work around her passive. Now what her passive does, so I'm just trying to use my head to cut the light off because it's a bit dark in here. Let's have a look what it's like without the lights off. What we're saying. And how's about if we do this? Boom! We've got a bit of light. We can work with it. And now you've got a blinding window behind you, so we can't win. So we'll work on that. Okay. So our passive, as it reads, is gains 10% more experience every 5 levels to a maximum of 30%. This is what will keep your runs going that little bit longer, because them gems that you pick up, especially if you pick up the crown as well, will just bump your XP. So as you start killing more and more enemies, your XP will fly. The higher it is, now obviously it makes the enemies harder. However, it makes you hit harder as well. So we'll get straight into it. As I say, her weapon's not the greatest to start with. It's not the greatest to end with. However, for a new player, this character is where you're going to be spending most of your time. You've got Pascalina, who is alright. And then you've got Gennaro, who I just leveled up last night, just for the hell of it. Pascalina's quite a hard character, but Imelda's the first character you should be unlocking and what you're going to spend a lot of your time with. So we're good to start, and then we're still only on the first level. So as you can see now, look, so it's same concept. I'm not doing anything, but she will lock on enemies, and you can sort of stand still for a minute if you wish. Not wise, so just keep circling. And as we said last time, the enemies level based on they get increased volume with time. They only level up based on you. So as I say, you'll find it with some characters specifically, especially the one that fires the lightning. You don't want to pick any gems up first, because obviously the higher the level you are, the higher the level the enemies are, and if you've got a poor weapon, you can get swarmed very, very quickly. So with Imelda, you want to pick up a weapon that's sort of radial as soon as you can. But we'll go from here. So you'll see the XP jump up a lot quicker than what it did. So magic wand, we've got the X. Don't touch the whip. I would get, if it's up, magic wand level 2. So now you'll get 2 projectiles. As I say, once you hit 5,000 coins, you can buy the projectile item, which will, at this stage, you would have, you know, a level 3 wand, as it were. It adds an extra projectile. So straight again, we want King Bible. Press start. We've not unlocked anything yet. We won't start unlocking stuff until we've hit the library and beyond. That's when you start getting really juicy. But to start, there's no need to wander off. As I say, for those that are new to the channel or new to the video series, or just clicked on this by accident, or it's running, map wise, there are things hidden around the map. As a new player, you don't want to be looking for them yet. If you stumble across them, you're playing the game a little bit wrong anyway, because you shouldn't need to be running off The meat on the map, again, we'll cover these as we play till we get 3, 4, 5, 6 videos in. That gets your health back. The Bible is, you know, one of the best starters out there for starters. I'm already in danger very early on after beginning Imelda. Bracer will increase your projectile speed, so always nice to have. As I say, I'm used to playing with some godlike weapons at the minute, so I'm sort of hoping and praying for things to pop that are not going to pop. So I've got to come back down a level. So you want to be collecting your there we go. So what's happened here is, you didn't see it, but under that torch there will have been a little icon which gives that fire. So basically gives you a couple of minutes. So you can increase it with duration. Pickups do, so we'll go for the Santa water again. So yeah, you just pick up that flamethrower, and it's like a get out of jail card. Didn't mean to pick the meat up there, but as I say, you're not sorry, you pick up the icon and it'll give you the little flamethrower, and it's like a get out of jail card, so you can either clear and get some Eric Jembers, or you can get out of dodge. So again, for this playthrough, you're not doing too much different apart from what you did with Antonio, which is just you're trying to survive, you're trying to get the coins, and you're just leveling her bits and bobs up. Because again, she's very good, and her weapon's very good for beginners to sort of intermediate players, and to get you going. So again, you pick up the King Bible as soon as you see it, especially as a new player. You want to get all them Bibles spinning around you as quick as possible. Passive wise, there's only a couple that you want to be looking out for. Now later on, it becomes you want to start looking into specific, specific passives to level certain weapons, or if there's already, as I said in the last video, there are a couple of passives in each level that you can pick up. So if you've got full, as I say, you can only have a maximum of 6 weapons and 6 passives. However, if I'd filled all my passive gauges out now, went over to the right, and I didn't have spinach in my inventory, there is a spinach over the right hand side, there's a heart down below, there's a curse up top with something else, and there's a luck passive down this bottom left hand corner somewhere as well. So that's potentially like 10 passives I could have on this map alone, and that's the only way to get extra passives. As I say, at this stage, just sort of choose what looks good to you. We will go for an extra projectile, so more damage at the space is good, but yeah, later on you'll want to be sort of choosing passives that match your weapons, which at the minute I don't think I can get any of the passives to upgrade, nor do I think I will survive that long, because we can upgrade weapons. So here, like I said last time, it's cleared anyway. So the mantis at the back there, that's the sort of mini boss, if you like. If I kill him, he'll drop a chest, but also that bat that's flying around, the golden bat, that is also like an elite enemy, and they will also drop a chest, which at this stage will drop an upgrade, and an upgrade only for the weapons that, or passives that I have got equipped. They will never drop you an extra item. As I said before, the only thing that they will change is later on down the game you unlock arcanes or arcanas. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan of the latest movie, and it gives you a chance sort of every 10 minutes or so to unlock another arcana, and there's the chest. So it's getting swabbed. Now at the beginning state, later on in the game, when you become more adept at it and when your upgrades become available, you don't want to go for the chest straight away. However, at this stage, unless it's going to get you killed, you want to pick your chests up straight away, because it's like a free upgrade, because you only get upgrades per every time you level up. So later down the line, you want to get your weapons to. Earlier on, it doesn't matter too much, but once you get your weapon to level 8, that's when you want to be picking chests up, because that'll evolve it, providing you have the passive. But early stage, sort of where we're at now. So we've got Santa Water here. Lancet is fantastic for, I'd say, for beginners, but also it can be very good later down the line as well in some of your builds, especially when you get to the end game. So I'll pick up Lancet just to show you what it is. Whip you don't really want. So what Lancet does, clock Lancet, it slows down time. So you see the beam, that'll tick round like a clock. So I've got 12, 1, or 3. There we go, sort of 4, 5, 6. So it'll do 12 rotations. When that hits the enemies, you'll see them turning blue. So that freezes them. As you level up the Lancet, it lasts a little bit longer and moves a little bit quicker. Now you can, with the right mods, make that sort of insta spin, and that becomes godlike, and we will be using that in one of the later videos. So again, Santa Water, character gets 10% luckier. I'm not interested in luck at the minute. Spinach we are interested in. We want to do some more damage, especially at these earlier levels. As I say, if I was playing this sort of at my stage where I'm at now, I wouldn't be picking up the spinach, because I know there is one over the right hand side, and you think, well, how am I going to find that? Because as I said in the last video, for those that you don't know, or not played the game before, or not watched one of these videos, this map just infinitely rotates. It's just a couple of tile sets that'll just sort of go and go and go, but you will, in the not too distant future, unlock a map. So when you press start, it'll show you what's on the map, and you'll find the secret characters and any sort of floor drops, as it were. So again, you're not really. I've done a danger here. I've sort of started hunting for kills, and you shouldn't. So it's not, even though you want kills, the idea is get the hell out of dodge, don't get cornered, and there will become stages in the game, especially when the skelly bobs appear, that you'll start leveling up. Ideally, one of my next passives, I want to pick up the crown, which will give me more XP, because that's one thing that you can get done if you don't have, when you play one of the other characters, because Imelda's got that XP boost. You can start with other characters, or if you don't pick the crown up, which gives you an XP boost as well, you can start getting XP stuff. So there's more and more enemies, but you're just not leveling up because the gems are not giving you enough. You're not killing fast enough, you're not picking the gems up fast enough, and the gems that you are picking up are just not giving you enough XP. So you've got to balance the game out quite well. You do get enemies like these, which are a little bit harder to kill. As I say, at this stage, you'll see how crazy it gets as the video series goes on, because we're relatively weak at the minute, very weak. At 10 minutes, you want to be sort of at least half powered, and that's not going to happen at this stage, but you'll see when it goes on the video series how insanely powered you can get quite quickly. So as I say on these, don't panic with these, just look for a gap and walk through. They don't do that much damage. You can walk around and kite the enemies. You say you've got a big praying mantis there, he's a boss. He'll drop, here we go, this is a magnet, so any gem that I've dropped on the map will come flying to me. So we'll go with a Lancet again. We need a bit more damage, so I'm going to go to the Fire Wand. The Fire Wand, again, is not a great starting weapon. It's sporadic, you've got no control, it'll fire them free sort of balls of doom. and you've got no control over wherever it goes. However, later on, when you do get to evolve it, it becomes pretty devastating. And that can be said for a lot of the weapons. There's only a very few that are a bit stinky all the way through. I mean, the whips I don't particularly like. The daggers have their goal. Now this could be either game over or game on at this stage. This is where you want to be. See your Bibles there, you want some cooldown at this stage and more Bibles, because otherwise I've got the boss following me with the Lancet freezing. Yes, Bible. You can walk through those enemies that are frozen and they're not going to damage you, but again, I'm getting boxed in here. And the gold, see, this is what you don't want to do. I've made a pretty poor run here. I've not been very lucky on the drops, but I've completely, because again I'm used to sort of playing at a certain level, I've ignored the gold, and that's really what you shouldn't be doing at this stage of life. We'll get some projectile speed and get some schmeat. So these werewolf characters are quite difficult. So what you've said there, like I think it was in the last video, I says the way the waves go is you sort of get, you know, the calm, then you get the calm before the storm, then you get the pre-storm, and then you get the storm. So we sort of had the storm, then it calmed off a little bit with the skeletons, and now this is the calm before the storm. And it sort of goes in rotations. You'll just get overwhelmed, and then next minute you're like, oh, fine, I can breathe. But obviously the enemies are bigger, but they hit like trucks. So you'll see now behind me I've got an absolute mob, and all you're trying to do here is hold on for dear life for the minutes to click by till all this mob sort of backs off a little bit, and you can thin the herd. And what you're doing while you're running around, because I'm dead. Game over. We'll do another run. So we unlock garlic. Garlic is a great, and this is what I said before, you'll unlock things constantly as you're playing the game, and then you're just moving on. So like a rogue game, you're moving on up. Can't get any growth yet, which we really do need. You can refund your power-ups. Go away. So for 1,000, I'm going to go for the XP. It's only 3%. However, poor armor. XP is XP. But that run, I unlocked two things. I unlocked garlic and I unlocked Orb Attractor. Orb Attractor will now allow me to evolve Santa Water, should I ever get it to level 8. And garlic is a noob's dream. And what I want to do is hopefully get a garlic, and I'll show you. Just want to get a garlic early on. Garlic. I'll show you a strat. Sometimes it's worth doing that as well. As you learn the game, if you get a bad roll, garlic, there we go. So I've got a little orb around me now, so I've got my auto turret and I've got my garlic. So what my garlic will do is it'll repel enemies, but it'll also tank these little baby ones as well, and it'll just one hit them. Now as you can see, I've got no attract at the minute, so the gems won't drag in, but later on you can buy the passive so you automatically get it, but we'll also unlock the attract orb as well. So it'll pull the gems in, but at the minute they won't, so enemies will fly into me And while they're still at this level, enemies will only stay at level 2. Now I can't do this indefinitely, because obviously these enemies are fine, but as you'll see in a minute, they'll start breaking through. But you can sort of stand here, get a few gems, and then we go again. We've got King Bible. So this little garlic reef will keep you going. Right, now we're going. Now we've got the crown XP. So enemies won't level, and you've got that little bit. And I've almost got a perfect setup at the minute, because I've got my Bible going around hitting stuff, I've got my auto turret hitting stuff, and I've got my garlic kicking in. So if I'd have not gone to level 5 then, I sort of stayed at level 2, level 3, with that garlic I could have stayed there, and I said the enemies won't get stronger until you get stronger. So you can sort of cheese it a little bit, get your gems going, and then just get a big cluster of gems and then sort of power up. What I was saying before that is where I restarted, because I just wanted to show you the garlic. Is sometimes if you get a bit of a stinky roll, for the seconds it takes you, it's easier just to restart. And you'll see that on the next level as well, because you get an instant level up once we get to that stage. So what the garlic's allowing me to do here is just walk through these enemies and get the gems. So one thing you'll notice there as well, like Imelda automatically gets the XP boost. There's been a couple of items that have dropped, but I've not gone for any damage or anything like that. I've gone for the crown. The crown gives you XP at minute, so I've actually bought the XP passive, which gives me the 3%. I've got Imelda's 10% up to a maximum of 30, and then the crown will also give me XP boost as well. And like I said, the more XP you get, the more levels you get. Yes, the enemies get harder, but the more weapons you're going to get. The problem I've got at the minute is it's not being kind with the drops. I really need the Bible to start dropping, or another damaging weapon. Otherwise I'm not going to survive, and I've done exactly what I've been telling you not to do there, which is hunting kills instead of surviving. So what, my health has took an absolute stinky hit. I'm going to have to get some projectile speed in there. I'm damaged, I'm not getting gold, and I'm also, so this little white screen wipe, this little crosshair, they drop from the what do you call it? You see the red gem there? That means I killed so many enemies on screen, and there's so many gems in the local area that red gem would absorb any other enemies XP that I killed. So it just stops you sort of from overloading and slow down and whatnot. So at the minute we're doing pretty poorly. Got the garlic, which is good. I've got no damage aside from a little bit of garlic. It's not dropping my Bible. The wand is alright. I've got 3 projectiles. There is another item you can get which adds another projectile, which you can buy passively to level 1, which is the duplicator, but you can also find it later on in game as well. We're hitting the 5 minutes mark. I've got no health and nothing much going for me at all, so I need to get out of dodge, and I need to find some torches and hopefully drop us some schmeat. There we go again, we've got the flowers, but we'll just find the gap, walk through, but we have got to be mindful that my health is pretty stinky at the minute, and we want to be picking up coins as well. And you'll notice my coin, since I took off the coin increase to put the XP increase on, has been pretty stinky. So all them 0.3s and 3% and things you notice quite heavily. The bird, there is 2 birds. One they'll circle and it like fires sort of like laser beams at you. Later down the line you'll unlock a black equivalent of it, so it's like ebony and ivory if you like. And that's how you evolve them, so you evolve them both and then you get like a rainbow of death flying around you. They're not bad weapons, to be fair. These green guys, with what I've got on at the minute, are just gonna stand and hurt me. So what I need to do now is get some health back before that 10-minute mark. So the torches will spawn right at random at certain areas with you, so they just spawn randomly, sort of off screen. This is not a good run at all. But this is generally it, guys, for the beginning of the game and for your first couple of hours, until you sort of start getting, and anybody who's familiar with rogue games will know the grind it takes. Like, for the first couple of hours, this is what it is. Now, what I don't know what to do now with this video series is, do you want me to tell you what to do and come back when you've done it? Or do you want me to do playthrough after playthrough and just go it step by step and see where we get to? Because at the minute I'm going to die again, and then you're just going to see another Imelda playthrough, another Imelda playthrough. I've not really got anything going for me at the minute in this run. It is just not dropping me at all. And we're going to get to the stage in a minute where the skeletons appear, and I am just in utter danger. I've got... Tell you what we'll do. We'll do guide videos like this, and then we'll do leveling videos. So I do another video, and I'll call Imelda leveling video. Once I've got her leveled and where you're at, it's up to you then. You can choose whether you skip that video playlist or you just enjoy watching the gameplay. I think that's the way to go, isn't it, guys? Yeah, that's what we'll do. So yeah, just quick recap on the video, because we've not really got much. Is first one, you play, get used to the game, get used to the controls. It's going to end very quickly unless there's got meat in it. Nope. Unlock Imelda, and then you just basically run, get a couple of hours in you until you've got some gold behind you. And the second level unlock. So we're going to end the video there, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a third video, but it's not going to be part of the guide series, and that's just going to be leveling. So if you do want to watch that and you're unsure, or you just want a clear sort of sight of where we're going, you can watch them as well. So we've unlocked the cross again. So even though I died and that was a bit of a poor run, we still got the one unlocked. You still got your achievement, and the cross is not a bad weapon. So I'm going to get this one uploaded. I'm going to then do a leveling video, and then once I've got Imelda leveled and we're ready for hitting the second level, then we'll come back to that. So other than that, guys, as I say, if you're unsure of anything, I know there's a lot of talking in this video, but I'm just trying to make it clear for you as we're going through. Comment down below. If you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. If there's anything that you want to see, comment down below. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to keep up with this series, as I say, just subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any contact. But other than that, guys, I'm not going to cut you off this time. Stay safe, enjoy this lovely weather. We're getting close to Christmas now, so get into that Christmas spirit. But always, guys, enjoy your gaming, stay safe, peace and love, everybody.